using AI to help companies keep track of their things. Let's dive into this new company about to go public. Today, we are excited to have Ed Nabrotzky, the CEO of AI Corporation, with us to share more about his company. Ed, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for inviting us. We're excited to tell our story.
Let's start out with what is AI?
We started about 3 years ago, and we developed a new way of collecting data at the edge of the enterprise. We kind of invented that in the basement, as most startups do, and we started working on that actually in the autonomous vehicle market. We were looking at ways of using cooperative markers to interact with traffic signs, urban canyons, and cities, and things like that. But the technology we developed there really became more applicable to logistics and manufacturing and asset tracking type technology. And so we started transition into that space. The software we were developing at the time also, we realized the advantage of AI was much more powerful in these kind of multi-layered complex systems. And so about 2 years ago, we migrated the company much more towards logistics and asset management. And that's really where we found a home and found great traction. So that's what we are today.
Wonderful. So let's start with who are your customers? Who
Mm.
who uses your product?
Well, that's the problem with assets. We all have things, right? I like to talk about the Internet of Things, but let's talk about the things. Customers are everything from consumers who have things all the way up to large enterprises that have things. We all want to know where our things are, how many things we have, are our things getting to the right place at the right time? So anyone that has that kind of concern is one of our customers. Now, we target enterprise class customers that have multiple locations that are really concerned about their things. And so large customers that are in the retail sector, manufacturing is one of our biggest sectors that are moving a lot of things, a lot of times through processes, logistics, shipping companies. The military has been a big deal for us. They have a lot of things moving all the time. Anyone who's got to manage their things is our customer.
It sounds like that would take a team of software developers. Who are some of the people you have working for your team? And talk a little bit about where you are located around the world.
Oh yeah, we've assembled an amazing team. I've done a number of startups in the past, but I'm really proud of the team that we have. Our CTO is Nambiar. He came to us from Verizon. We recruited him specifically. He was leading their 5G team, developing 5G routers. In fact, if you're using a Verizon 5G router, that was probably Vijay's work when he was there at Verizon. So he's an expert in that area. Vijay has got our embedded team here in Shirley, Massachusetts. That's where I'm broadcasting from today. I'm here in the lab with our launch party, getting our DFM group ready to launch our new product here for the fourth quarter. We've got a brand new revolutionary patent pending bridge that we're launching, and that's what I'm here doing. So Shirley, Massachusetts, just outside of Boston, is our technical headquarters where the R&D really happens. A lot of our software is programmed here from the embedded and device driver side, but then we also have our web services and cloud operations over in India, in Bangalore, and we have a large team there. The hardware that we design for our edge systems is actually manufactured in Puerto Rico. We have our own hardware manufacturing facility there just outside of San Juan. And actually the Puerto Rican team is up here with me this week as we prepare for this launch. So that's a fantastic facility. I work mostly out of the Bethesda office. We have a Washington, D.C. administrative office. That's where all of our accounting and legal and compliance work happens. The sales department would call that the overhead group. And then, of course, we have our headquarters over in Las Vegas. In our headquarters, we're actually co-located with one of our large distributors, and we call it our Western Experience Center. That's where our customers can come and see our technology working in a warehouse environment where we move things around, where we change things. We use that as our training center for all of our distribution partners and channel partners, as well as our salespeople. So our go-to-market headquarters is co-located there with our admin center in Vegas, where it's very easy to get people to fly to Vegas and come for training.
That's a big, wide footprint, kind of all over the place. Let's talk about the growth that you're experiencing as a company right now and the recent announcement that just came out too.
Yeah, so we're taking our company public, which is really exciting. We'll be on the NASDAQ, we hope, by the end of the year. We're working our way through that. We've been going through the various filings and compliance, but we're on schedule for an end-of-year transition to that public company. We need that cash to really finance the growth that we're seeing. We've already started with some lighthouse customers that are very large, multinational billion-dollar corporations, multi-billion-dollar corporations that want to base their systems on our technology. And so we've done initial pilots. We've started working through initial sites, but this explosive growth needs to be funded as we go international. We'll be founding more locations in Europe in particular, as well as Southeast Asia, and we'll be advancing a lot of our channel programs through that funding. The technology we do needs a lot of work as well. I mean, we've got our base system working, but there's so much to be done with AI and with image processing that we're working with. Some of our chip developments we've done with our patented passive microwave technology. That this go public move is a chance to give us the rocket fuel we need to really take the system into a new generation of performance as well as support for our customers around the world.
There's so much conversation around the world about AI and so
Mm-hmm.
many new companies like yours popping up because of the new developments in AI. Let's talk about competition in this field a little bit.
Sure.
Are there other competitors out there who are doing something similar to what you're doing, or are you really unique in this space?
Well, everyone's going to tell you they think they're unique, but I've got a long history. I've worked for decades in the RFID and auto ID business, and so I understand the systems that are there now. And I guess I can boil this down, Bridget, into two problems. So applying AI to logistics is relatively easy because AI engines are now available and the technologies become more and more refined. But the difficulty in applying AI to logistics is the data isn't there. It's very difficult and expensive to get data from all these things that move. Today, we hire a lot of operators to do barcode scanning, or we put very expensive portals or infrastructure antennas up, and that doesn't give us the richness of data you really need to drive an intelligent AI implementation. What's unique about us is that we're not just an RFID company supplying the RFID, we're marrying it with the vision systems and the AI backend that allows that data to be useful in the workflow. So the combination of having the AI software as well as a really unique edge data collection system is what lets us develop value or deliver value that other companies really can't. We find a lot of our competitors are kind of one-trick ponies that are focused either on the software or on the data collection system, but they struggle to get the both married together into a way that adds the value. And maybe I can elaborate on one part of that. So when you think about edge collection, edge data collection, we think often about either a manual process like barcode scanning, or we think about a very expensive set of infrastructure like portals, antennas that are scanning through pinch points. What we've developed is something that you could think of like an Apple AirTag, where an iPhone that's traveling through an enterprise can pick up your AirTag and report its location. We've developed mobile readers that are battery powered that can go on your pallets, on your forklifts, on your totes. And as it goes through your enterprise, it picks up these other tags and these other items very seamlessly, very inexpensively, without having an engineer on site that has to put that together. That's what's kind of unique about our data collection system. And then on the software side, having people that are experienced in this industry, I've spent a career in this industry. Many of my C-level team are from that side. We've done an implementation, I think, that is really unique in the AI, using not just the RF data capture capability, but also the vision systems that we overlay with it. So it's really kind of an exciting and unique way that we've created a way to dynamically gather this data and then make it meaningful to an operator to get my things to the right place at the right time.
I think that's what investors want to hear is what kind of demand is out there and what kind of success are you seeing with your clients? Clearly, you're seeing some growth already, but what's the benefit to the customers that you're serving and what kind of demand are you seeing from that pool of customers?
I've never had a company like this that has such a high hit rate. Normally, when you're calling out, you're in single-digit percentages about demand generation activities and number of contacts. We've been astounding in the percentages, and I don't want to overquote it here and get in trouble. But so many people are looking for a way to do this better. And that's a combination of two things. One is they understand the inefficiencies in their process. They're losing things. They're having unreliability in the things. But I think the other part is they're being driven by fear that the big retailers like Amazon, Walmart, have shown that tying their demand triggers from the front end to their back end operation is tremendously efficient and delivers value that we've never believed before. I mean, I don't. You're not as old as I am, but I would never have thought that I could order something online and have it show up on my doorstep the next day.
Right.
That's like a miracle. But we now expect that. But so many enterprises in the world today, they have 2-week lead times to fulfill an order within their own internal operations. Their logistics programs are still antiquated and they don't have a way to upgrade them to that kind of modern expectation. So the CIOs I talk to, the CEOs I talk to at our customers are desperate to get those demand triggers in real time to the edge and get data from the edge to inform their customers of where their things are and how they're going to be delivered. And they just haven't found a good solution that rolls in a cost-effective way that has the intelligence that they want that we're seeing in the commercial world. And so we hope to be the one to bring it to them. We know there's others, of course, trying to get there, but we think we have a unique ability to get there first.
Another important thing for our investors is always about the financials and how the company is run too. Are you finding success already at this early stage of your company? I believe you said you're about 3 years into development.
Yes, that's right. So the financials are always difficult. I mean, we are basically pre-revenue as a SaaS company. So although we've had some revenue, we've had a lot of seed funding, having gathered more than $7 million in seed as we've come up to this stage, and then also gone off of various grants and research programs we've done. That's been the primary source of our funding. But as we build our SaaS model, and we're a bit of a hybrid where we have SaaS and hardware, what's wonderful coming to this stage is we have a backlog for our hardware orders coming in from our transactional side. And on the SaaS side, we have a base of Lighthouse customers that are now growing exponentially as they add more sites and add more applications. And so the foundation for growth is there and the customer pickup is there. But our funding so far has been more pre-revenue type activities that you'd see in a typical tech startup.
Well, and you do have a new partnership with Shoulder Up. Tell us
Mhm.
what that means for your company.
Yeah, Shoulder Up is our sponsor as we work through this Go Public exercise. Shoulder Up is a fantastic group that we've enjoyed working with. They have deep ties in the military. I probably should have explained earlier that in our initial start, some of our early customers were military projects. We were awarded several SBIR programs. We demonstrated logistics applications within military, and they continue to be an important sector. So Shoulder Up has really helped us open more doors there, and there's a huge part of our business that's focused there. Our factory in Puerto Rico allows us to do made in America development of our hardware in a way that most of our competitors are sourcing from China and from countries that are not going to allow them to be in those government areas. So Shoulder Up helps us open that important door. Shoulder Up is already a SPAC company that can help us also take us public, and that's been helpful. So they're not just a transactional partner, they're a partner go forward that's going to help us develop our markets that we're targeting. They have really good contacts in the areas that we're moving forward on.
So if it's a retail investor who's watching this right now, you can't quite find your company right now to invest in, but when and how will they be able to find you if they're interested in being an early investor?
All right. So the first thing I would say is look for us on our public disclosures. We have filed our initial S4s, and those are available if you search for us. You should know that our current name we're listed under is CID Inc. That's we're transitioning to .ai Corporation as part of this company transition. So if you search on the SEC disclosures under CID Inc., you'll see our current S4, which has all of our financial filings as well as the company go forward plans. In terms of being an early investor, as we're in this stage, we're working with our sponsors through institutionals. And so our retail investors will be funneled into that group. So you would contact me or my CFO, Charlie Maddox, and we would bring you into our institutional pipeline group.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything else about your company that you'd like to share? You've said a few different times about what makes you so excited about this company compared to others you've been at. And that's a question I love to ask is just why, as the CEO of this company, are you excited about what you are offering at AI?
Oh, goodness. There's so many reasons. It always starts with the people. I have an exceptional management team, and it's been such a joy to work with them and to have them so competent in each of their areas, the departments we've set up, the people we've started to attract. It's been wonderful to build a team, and that's always a great joy. But the second part that we're seeing the adoption we are, I think we've hit the timing really, really well. It's a time where AI is emerging, and it needs to be applied to more use cases. We're seeing it being applied in our normal lives. But logistics and supply chain and asset management generally is pretty old school. There's a lot of paper and clipboard out there still. There's a lot of manual barcode scanning and labeling. And it's a rich field for this technology to be applied. It's a complex field. No one person can manage a multi-layered supply chain and get everything to the right place at the right time. AI is a tremendous aid for that. And I think everyone's seeing that because they're more comfortable with AI in their private life. So it's a combination of the timing. Our technology is hitting the market at the right time. It's solving a real problem that's a multi-trillion-dollar problem. And I've got the best team I've ever had in a company to tackle it. So I'm excited about that.
That is something to be excited about. Thank you again, Ed, so much for your time today and for sharing a little bit more about your company with our investors. You can check out the article we have on marketbeat.com with more details about this company and many others. As always, thank you for joining us here on MarketBeat Media and happy investing.